On Wednesday, December 30th, 2020, I received a text from a good friend of mine, Tim Miller. A group of Arrowhead veterans were going to do the last 63 miles of the Arrowhead 135 course, and I was invited to join them. Erica said to go if I wanted to, but she thought I needed.
You brain!
I had to tell her that this sounded fun to me, and even though we've been married for over 13 years.
There's a lot of things about me you don't know anything about. Things you wouldn't understand. Things you couldn't understand. Things you shouldn't understand.
Once I committed to going, I really started to overthink things. I wanted my gear and my body to be prepared as best as I could, so I wanted to keep the house cold, and when the kids complained, I tried to convince them it was normal.
Feels just fine to me. I feel just perfect. In fact, I can't remember when I felt quite so cozy down here.
I studied pictures of people's sleds and gear from previous races, and I was too embarrassed to admit that I wanted help. I'd see something and be like,
why? What's the significance? I don't know!
Finally, I started asking questions to Tim and Brian.
And you've gone over something
again and again. Certain questions get answered, others spring up.
Once I got a few things figured out, Jake helped me build my sled. As far as the details,
can't really talk about it. You know, James Bond kind of stuff.
After my sled was squared away, all I had to do was swing by Target.
I wanted to stock up on some supplies.
I woke up Sunday, the day we were going in, excited, and I looked over at my sled and said,
"Good morning. I'm here."
I was in a great mood. Greeted everybody that morning.
Morning, Mr. Breakfast!
After packing up, I said goodbye to the family.
Well, I'm off. You be good.
Erica could tell I was a bit nervous. When she asked me, I tried to hide it.
Guess I'll be on my way then.
Tim and I drove up, met Brian, and Gretchen at Mel George's. I was like,
remember me?
They were like,
Andy! Andy!
And then I was like,
let's go!
We headed out about 6 p.m. and it was about 0 degrees. About a mile and a half in, I got a little nervous when I noticed I'd started to sweat going up a climb. My mind started to wander, and I thought about being frozen solid out here.
Wait! I'm in the middle of nowhere!
Luckily, when you're going up, you get to go down, which meant sliding on my sled. I started to laugh, but then held back. Finally, I realized,
go ahead and scream your head up! We're miles from where anyone can hear you!
Then I looked around at the star-filled sky and noticed how beautiful it was.
The stars at night are big and bright! Deep in the heart of Texas!
When I wasn't admiring the stars, I was kind of in race mode. Every time we'd stop, I was itching to keep moving.
We're losing valuable time! Hurry!
Then fatigue set in.
Take a breather, Dottie. The X1 needs to cool down.
I got real hungry, and when I saw Gretchen eating a Rice Krispie bar, I kinda lost it.
Is this something you can share with the rest of us?
Which she did, and that Rice Krispie bar was delicious. The last 6 miles or so are flat. We all got spread out, my watch had died, and my mind was playing tricks on me, when all of a sudden I turned back to see Brian was right behind me. I wanted to be done, and I asked him about the finish.
Where is it? Can you see it? Where is it?
We got to the finish line, and I thought,
why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
My phone was dead, I was tired, so I thought about the picture and realized,
I don't have to see it. I lived it.
It was a super valuable learning experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Not for $100 billion, million, trillion.
For the patience Tim, Brian, and Gretchen had displayed, I'd really like to say to those Arrowhead veterans,
thanks a lot, dudes.
Being out in the wilderness pulling a sled for 20 plus hours.
I've learned something out here on the road. Humility.
The other thing I realized about my dream of doing the full Arrowhead 135 race was,
you can't just wish and hope for something to come true. You have to make it happen.